Example 1.2.3 is another scenario where we're identifying key terms. As part of a study designed to test the safety of automobiles, the National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, collected and reviewed data about the effects of an automobile crash on test dummies. Here's the criterion they used. So just in case you ever read a report and you see NTSB, they're referring to the National Transportation Safety Board. Criteria they used: the speed at which the cars crashed were 35 miles per hour, and the location of the driver was in the front seat. Cars with dummies in the front seats were crashed into a wall at a speed of 35 miles per hour. We want to know the proportion of dummies in the driver's seat that would have had head injuries if they had been actual drivers. We start with a simple random sample of 75 cars. Let's start out with our population. Population is the whole group that we're studying, and we're studying all cars containing dummies in the front seat. And the sample, you can see the word simple random sample is the 75 cars that we select with that simple random sample. The parameter is what we're studying, referring to the whole population. We want to know the proportion of dummies in the driver's seat. So the parameter, proportion of dummies, if they were real people who would have suffered head injuries. So they have some way of determining how the impact affects the dummies, whether they have head injuries or not. So similarly, the statistic, pretty much the same, except now we're talking about the proportion in the sample. So the proportion of dummies, if they had been real people who would have suffered head injuries in the sample. The variable is the number of driver dummies who suffered head injuries. So notice the variable is what we're collecting as far as the data goes. And then what is the data? We're going to look at the dummy and see, do they have a head injury or not? So a yes for a head injury or a no for no head injury.